hope that you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today, where we are going to do a Create project where we use some properties of science to help us do this. So today we are going to create a marbled object. And in the past we have done this with paper. This time we are going to create a marbled pattern on rocks. So we are going to use a plate or a bowl, a disposable one so that you aren't getting it messed up, rocks, tape, nail polish, a bamboo skewer to stir. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare the rocks. So first we're going to take a piece of tape. Fold it in half, and seal it to about right there. And then I'm going to stick it on the rock. So you can prepare all of your rocks right now if you want, or you can just prepare one of them. I'm going to do two. And I've got a couple different kind of rocks here. Because I wanted to take a look at the difference between using a lighter colored rock and using a darker colored rock. Next thing we're going to do is add the water to our tray. And as you can see, my table's a little wobbly, so the water level isn't really even the whole way across. Let's see if we turn it that way a little, if that helps. So we're going to use the fact that the nail polish is less dense than the water, and so it will float on the top. And I've got three colors of nail polish here. I've got a blue, a coral, and a metallic rose. So just pour that in, and you want to act fast because you don't want the nail polish to harden. The other thing I did was, the first time I did this, I used colder water, and the second time I did it, I used water that was warmer. And I think that the warmer water actually keeps it from drying out. So you have a little longer time to work with it. So I'm just going to create my pattern. It's already starting to dry some. If you look over here, there's a very nice pattern. So I am going to dip it in there, turn it over. I'm turning it over to let it dry. When that side is dry, if you want to do the other side, you can go back and do the other side. So I scraped off some of the dry nail polish. I'm going to add another bit of each color. And because that skewer is kind of, well, it's got a whole bunch of nail polish on it, I'm going to grab a different skewer to stir. And I am kind of looking at the pattern I create. To make sure that there's a lot of, just to make sure it looks good. So there's a lot of color there. I'm going to go in with it there. Turn it over. Let it dry. Let's try a couple more. And because that seems to be laying pretty nicely, I'm just going to go in again right there. And This rock is heavier, so I'm not sure if that's actually going to work very well. So I'm going to try to do a little more. I used 2 pieces of tape instead of just one, and I'm going to go right there. All right, so I'm going to bring you in for a closer look so you can see what each of them looks like. And yes, they're still wet. The tape is still on the back. When they dry, I'll remove the tape. But there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. And then the final one right there, which actually looks pretty cool. I did 2 others earlier, so there's the first one, and there's the second one. And let me flip them over, because I actually did both sides on those. And on that one, I definitely like this side better. There's some pretty cool swirls on there, right there. And then there's that one. The other side, when I did it, just ended up being just kind of a blob of color, surrounded by color. But that side came out pretty nice. So there we are. I hope that you enjoyed our marbling rocks, and I hope that you will give it a try. When you go to clean it up, I take the bamboo skewer and I go across the top and get as much of the nail polish off as I can. Then I throw that in the garbage. I lay paper towels in the base of my sink to catch any other nail polish so it doesn't go down the drain or get onto the sink and stain your sink. And that's what I do to clean up. So with the ones we just colored, you can just let them dry, put the tape on, and then do the other side. Or you can leave them just with one side marbled. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this project. We'll be back next week with another book review and another Explore and Create. And then later in the week, we'll have what I am reading in August. So I hope that you will join me then. And until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you. Oh, and I didn't mention this. I just went for a walk, picked up rocks off the road, and then I washed them up and let them dry before I did the marbling. So keep that in mind, and I let them dry for 24 hours just to make sure they were actually dry. And now, thank you.